to Sticks and Strings. I'm Naomi.
I'm Beth.
I'm Eve.
And we are back, and it's second week of August, and it has been ridiculously hot.
Oh,
even for us, it's been it was a nightmare.
Where everybody's going.
Even like all my plants are just.
The other day I looked at
dying.
my phone at like 8 o'clock in the morning, around the time I woke up or whatever. I looked at my phone and it was 103 degrees already.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I put a cactus out, because even the cactus are crying.
Yeah, it's really bad. So that's where we're coming from. We're like so hot. Fortunately, my house around the clock usually stays like an ice cube. So
It's cold in here.
Yeah.
It's not so cold in there. but
Our
it's
air
freezing.
conditioner works just fine until they got up to 118, and then
Yeah.
it said,
yeah,
I give up.
too much for everybody. So that's where we are. We hope you guys are great. Thanks for joining us for another week. Grab your stitching of whatever kind, your sticks and your strings, and your favorite beverage, and sit down with us, and we'll have a little chat for this week. I think Eve is going first.
Yes. I have a finish. Dun, dun, dun.
So cute.
This is a pattern by, the eyes aren't glued in.
I like his
Oh,
little.
okay.
I like his little
Um,
tufts.
Yeah.
It's a pattern by My Fingers Fly. I didn't bring the pattern thing here, but
You don't need it when it's all done.
it's all done.
Look at that, so cute.
I'm having.
I like his feathers a lot better now. But when you did
when
them,
I redid them, yeah, they look a lot better.
So cute.
Watching
He's very
the
well
video
informed.
helped. So I have to put a review and a picture for this, because look at these little wings. And it's round on the bottom. I suppose when I stuffed it, I could have been more careful to get it straight on the bottom, but anyway. And then right now I am working on Phoenix Biscornu by Tiny Modernist. And so far I have one side done. I don't think I'm going to get the other 3 sides done between now and Monday. We'll see how well I can see to do it after that. Theoretically, my eyes will be better. So I'm going to talk about my temperature chart first. Under the C temperature chart, designed by myself for our Etsy shop, Three Sisters Creative. And as we said, it's been evil hot. On
Did you say
Thursday.
evil hot? Is that what you said?
I said evil hot.
Yeah.
God opened up the hell gates and turned up the furnace. What?
Lift it up above your
I will.
there.
I will. So the darkest color is anything that is 115 or above. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4 this past week of 7 days. So 3 days it was under 115, and 2 of those days, 2 of those days it was above 110.
You mean 3 days it was above 115? You said under.
Above
115.
Above a 115 or above.
And then 2 days.
2 days it was 110 or above. We did have a cool day of 109. Hey.
Having dog issues.
We did have one day of 109 that was nice and cool. It was a nice break in the heat. Practically a cold front. When you're talking a difference of 10 degrees, you can feel it,
Yeah.
the difference. So, I mean, I'm joking, of course, but yeah, this is the time of year when your swimming pool feels like a bathtub. And then I did do a tiny bit more work on Honey Bunny. You probably can't see it except maybe in the picture. I did some of the bunny above the edge of the cup. last week I had taken the picture sideways like this, but this is right side up with the white.
I didn't know. Sorry. I just put it in.
How can you tell, right? I can tell. I can tell because this little thing that comes out is where the handle of the cup is.
And it's like 3 a.m, so I can't call you and ask you.
Actually, I was up. Remember, I said
Yeah, that's right.
you and I don't get enough sleep. And I've done some more work on Winter Deer by Tiny Modernist. Isn't it cute?
Oh my gosh.
Isn't it cute?
All the little
Look at his little
ornaments.
So
eyeballs.
is the deer done?
Deer's
The
done?
deer is done. I'm just back stitching. So every now and then I go back and back stitch. And
Working on the ornaments and stuff.
yeah,
Cute.
Yeah.
he's so cute. So this is already starting on the little surround.
Mm.
The surround doesn't go up over his antlers. So yeah, I think it'll be done in time to FFO it for Christmas. Hopefully we'll be in a new house by then. Okay. This is my August cross-stitch camp piece. Ruby-throated Hummingbird by Boomerang Stitches. When I am working on this, I just sit there and go, I really love this. I really love it. I really love it.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Look, I did a little ladybug.
Cute.
Yeah, so I worked on it some this morning, but I decided to put it down and get ready for the video. But I'm already, this is the curve right here, this curve. So I'm down this downward slope here. And the flowers get bigger as they go down. So I'm not on the corner flower, but I'm almost on that corner flower. This fabric is so nice to work with. It's a Lugana by Tom and Lily Creations, and you can find them on Etsy. Maybe she's back. They were on vacation. But you can find them on Etsy. And they're in France, so you have to wait a minute for your fabrics or whatever you order from them. But man, they're nice. Feel the fabric. Feels so good.
Oh, it is nice. Doesn't feel, I expected it to feel scratchy with all the glitter.
Yeah, it's only scratchy in the edge where I put fray check.
And that's like Zwagart base with that orange thread.
That orange thread is Swigart base,
Yeah.
yeah. So I can't be happier with the fabric and this is the same fabric I used for the same company, the fabric for
The berry?
The
Jingleberry.
Christmas berry.
Jingleberry, yeah. So I've been working kind of sort of diligently on my FOMO blanket.
Oh, sorry. Cover Beth. Cover Beth up. Well, it's been a long time since we've covered Beth up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have to cover Beth up.
It's looking like a Christmas blanket.
It's cute. I really like this edge up here. I like the gold. You should embrace the gold.
Well, I'll use it. I
I'm
just
saying.
didn't want my presents to be gold. The stitch I'm doing right now, it's supposed to look like Christmas lights. Look.
Oh, cute.
And so there'll be a red row and a white row. I kind of feel like I should do red and lighter green. This lighter green right here.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
That looks
would be
like a
cute.
Christmas light, huh?
Or blue.
Blue isn't in the color palette. Well, neither was the other one I used on the presents. And then my book reader paper holder. Okay. I absolutely hate the sugar and cream yarn. And I knew I didn't like it because I've tried it before. But I figured that's what the called for is. Someday I'm going to remake this with cotton.
Isn't sugar and cream cotton?
Yeah, but I mean,
Like a nicer cotton?
yeah, because I spend my time fighting with the yarn, and it splits. Can
Oh,
it even
very
be called
splitty.
yarn? It's like
It's
a collection of string.
Yeah, it's very loosely.
Yeah. Now these strings are supposed to be here because a little book is going to go in between, and I need them to sew the book on. But next, I'm supposed to work on legs, and when I say I hate this yarn, I'm not being, I really do hate this yarn. But it's, you know, I think that the reason that it was chosen is because it comes, what is the word I want to use? It gives some body, you know, but if you want to try this pattern, and it's by Carol Haddock Designs, they're on Etsy. If you want to try this pattern, I recommend buying cotton, just straight cotton, not the called for cotton, because
Like a nice cotton from, like, I love this yarn, or I love this
I
cotton.
love this cotton or something like that.
I think cottons in general, though, have a loose twist.
They do, and this is cotton, and I struggle with it a little bit,
Yeah.
but it slides. This doesn't slide. You have to, like, I'm fighting with it all the time, and so I told between so and such and such a time and such a time, I'll work on it. And as the time clicks by, I'm like, I really don't want to.
Haven't gotten anywhere with it or fighting with it.
Well, I put the little hands on this past week.
Huh.
Little hands. They didn't have hands, but when it said right into the stitches on the end of the arms,
Yeah.
work into those stitches, I was like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that sounds hard.
And one of them, because I had to stuff it, one of the arms, I went through because I had to sew up one side, and I ended up having to sew it again. I was like, oh. So I struggled with that. Now, this is the Kiwi Hug Cat by Cause Family. It has a pig and a bear. Bear? Yeah, that you could do. The pig is quite cute, actually. The bear, it's supposed to have an orange in the middle, and this is supposed to have a kiwi in the middle.
So random.
No, this is orange, the Kiwi Hug Cat, he's hugging a kiwi. Okay.
Yeah.
And I really don't want to put it in there, but it's kind of loosey-goosey without it. So I kind of want to, if I'm going to make a kiwi, they look like a coaster, right?
Mm-hmm.
I want to make like 6 or something and put them in here, but I don't know. I tried one of those coasters that Rachel made,
Mm-hmm.
and it was too big.
Mm.
So I have to really watch that it'll fit in there.
I see.
So I picked out some yarn from what I have. Is it exactly kiwi colors? No.
Well, then I'm never coming back to your house.
But I just kind of went, well, okay.
A rotten kiwi.
And then lastly, I showed you the 2 fabrics that I bought, the one I was just working with and one that was supposed to be blue, but it was gray. And I didn't look back at what I ordered. I knew I had ordered a blue, 2 different colors of blue. This one, which is turquoise, and I thought I ordered another blue. And I even gave them kind of a mediocre review because I knew the fabric was beautiful, but it wasn't the color that I was expecting. And I was going through some stuff, and I contacted them and said, this is what you sent me. And I'm looking at what I ordered, and I ordered 28 count Lugana, and I ordered 16 count Ada. This is 32 count fabric.
Oh, just completely not the fabric.
And she said, oh, you're right. I must have grabbed the wrong one by accident. She says, you keep it, make something beautiful with it. I'm sending you another one.
Oh, that's nice.
And here it is.
That's the new one?
This is the new one.
The correct one.
It is so beautiful. The
Pretty.
modeling in it, and
Yeah.
it is so
You
beautiful.
put a close-up. It's really pretty.
Yeah, I did. I took it out of the bag and took a good
Oh,
picture
good.
of it. Again, Tom and Lily Creations, and if you
Made good by you.
if you have to contact them, they answer you right away. Because I had a shipping issue with the blue and the gray. I had a shipping issue with it where it acted like it had never been delivered.
Mm.
Because it just stayed up there because it just never, I was like, it's not telling me when it's coming. You know, Etsy says, you know, shipped, and it tries to tell you, you know. And I was contacting them about that, so they're really responsive. And I will order from them again. They're in France, it takes forever for it to get here, but man, is it worth it. Such pretty fabric. That's me.
See?
Mhm.
Beth, you're going next.
Yeah. Let me stick this needle on the back side and take this out of the back. So I really only have one thing this week. Last week I had like, you know, a finish and all my July stuff was finished, and since August started I've only been working on one project. This is my,
Sorry, forgot.
I've been working since the 1st of August on my August cross stitch camp project, which is the Starry Starry Night Biscornu. So it's Biscornu based on the Vincent van Gogh Starry Starry Night portrait that everybody knows. And so there's a sun and a moon and a bunch of shooting stars and stuff like that. Other celestial phenomenon. So this is the top side. Let me get this needle minder out of the way. This behind it. So I've got the sun and moon in the top corners. They're opposite down here. There's a moon here and a sun here. And the little clouds behind them. Everything, that part's all done, and I've been working on some of the little motifs, you know, the shooting stars and constellations. There's a Big Dipper on either side of the middle of the Biscornu. And then the sun and moon have a little bit of backstitching to show the eyes, and I think the moon has a eye like he's asleep, and the sun has eyes and eyebrows and a nose, I think, to show, and then it has a little smiling mouth on there. So right now I'm just about to start on the other moon, and oh, there goes my Biscornu on the other moon down here. The one thing I was wondering about when I was looking at the pattern was, and it's it's hard to see, like, because you can't get a really good view of the model, finished stitching on the model, but I was noticing that down here in the corner, I did the clouds have like a whitish color or whatever in the middle, and then a darker color around the outside. Like in this one, the edges of the cloud are done in black, I think, and yeah, and then the middle is done in this. These are all color and cotton colors. So this one is done in a color called Trade Wind, which is basically a whitish light blue to kind of a goldish color, a light gold color. So you can see a little bit of that in the variegation as it changes, but it's mostly kind of a very, very pale blue, almost white blue. So on the sun over here, the cloud is white, and the surrounding little swirls around the cloud are charted in this trade wind color. So you can kind of see it as you glance at it, look at it. It looks a little, the outlining in the trade wind color looks a little grayer than the white of this chalk is the white color in the cloud. But down here, I was looking at it, and I did the outline of the cloud, and it's actually like a blue. There's a blue in this pattern called Blue Jay, and so the cloud down here around the sun is outlined in Blue Jay, and I was wondering, is this supposed to be Blue Jay also up here? I don't know, but I already did it in Trade Wind, and I ain't changing it. But I did do the Blue Jay here because even though it's hard to see against this blue fabric, you can see it in person, but it's a little hard to see at a distance. But I think it'll show up better around the white than the Trade Wind did.
It might be different just to add interest to
Maybe.
to it.
But the moon is exactly the same, so I don't know. But I've got like most of the little motifs. There's a little bit of that Blue Jay color goes in some spaces, but I'm trying to get all the little motifs done. So once I do the big moon and sun motifs and the one cloud around there, it'll be mostly done. I think almost all done. I have to double check and make sure that I've got all the little motifs, but since I've made a working copy of the pattern, I've been scribbling stuff out with my pencil as I've done it, so I don't lose my place. So I think I'm making pretty good progress. So hopefully I'll finish this top side in the next couple of days, and then I have to do the back side. The back side is a little simpler though, because there's like some big like star patterns kind of in the corners, and then there's a bunch of the similar motifs. And since I've done them all now on this side, I think they'll be easier on the other side because I'll already know how they, the best way to approach them and all that. So anyway, that is Starry Night Viscornu, and it's by Cosford Rise Stitchery. Cosford Rise Stitchery.
It's so pretty.
Yeah, it's really nice. They did this on a darker,
big, right?
on a darker,
Is it bigger than normal?
Yeah,
Not really.
maybe slightly, not bigger. This is on 18, I think it's 18 count, 16 or 18 count Ada that I dyed. I want to say it's 18 count, but I'm not really sure. It's very tiny. Yeah, so I dyed this myself, and I have, another square like this size for the back side. And so this is just marking the center. I did a center start. So yeah, that's what all I've been stitching on since the beginning of August. We did drop into Hobby Lobby last week, and I couldn't resist. I bought another punch needle kit. So this fall is going to be my apparently my.
You can't show the picture.
My season of this is.
Oh, that is the picture.
Yeah, that is the picture.
Oh.
Right here. It's a little snowman head, and you make the.
They had a
you-
whole bunch of really cute ones.
Yeah, you punch the face of the snowman, the little eyes and carrot nose and the snowman,
see.
and then the hat is made of like a felt, I think. That's
All right.
all in there. So
Let's
yeah,
see.
so I have 2 punch needle kits now and 2 crochet kits. So
She said that if she can't make herself start them, that she's gonna put them on her WIP-GO so that she'll start them.
yeah. And then I also bought. They had all their, all their Christmas crafts, and they have some fall stuff, but they don't really do Halloween. But they have fall decor stuff. But they're putting all their Christmas things out now. And so I bought this. I guess it's a little bracelet. Yeah, a bracelet kit that says ho ho ho. It's got little letter or beads that say ho ho ho.
Cute.
And then some
When Hannah
Christmas colored beads.
when Hannah was like 2-ish, she was learning to write,
Mhm.
and she knew her letter had an H,
Mhm.
and so that's how she would sign her name, was H-O-H-O-H-O. So we find things written ho ho ho, and that's Hannah's signature.
There's that. And I also bought these little, I think I may have bought some last year or something, these little gnome charms, I guess. Yeah, so I almost didn't get them, but they were so cute, I couldn't resist.
Those are cute.
So, anyway.
She saw them, and then she went back, looked again, and she walked away, and then she went back and looked again.
Yeah, so I was showing you, I think I talked about them, they're all colored in cotton threads, and this is the color palette for them. The antique rose, the only place it's used is in the sun's little smiley mouth. So you can barely see it here. But yeah, that's nice. But all the rest of see, this is the trade winds color, and it's very light. It's a very light blue, almost white color, but it's got this little, I don't know what you call it, goldish color woven in there. Anyway, that's the color palette for that. But that's me. That's all I've done.
10. Hang on one sec.
Well, while you say that, I'll say, I was watching the Addicts video, and I like looking at other people's samplers that they've done, because some of them are quite intricate, or the colors are beautiful, or whatever, but they're just not for me.
Yeah.
And they were talking about a reproduction sampler that they did that Jean had purchased and wanted to start and make this reproduction. So they did it in her honor. And
Before she passed away. Yeah.
Well, they're just
Yeah.
now getting it out there.
Yeah.
And I was like, I really
Yeah, I love them.
It's huge. But I was just like, I like that.
Don't limit yourself.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, but I'm limiting how much money I spend.
Oh, that's
right
true.
now.
That's true. Okay, I have to pack this up so I can unpack it in the right way. So, if you remember last week, if you were here with us last week, I was talking about how I had birthday money burning a hole in my pocket because I'd gotten so sick after my birthday. I'm gonna move my drink. And right after I left here, I went to Tempe Yarn and Fiber, and I thought, I don't want yarn. I have lots of yarn, and they have lots of toys, knitting toys. So I was like, I'm gonna look at toys. So, and I saw something I have always wanted, is bags and cases by a company called Della Q, and I found this. This is a little, it's like an old-fashioned makeup case.
When you brought it over, I thought you had a lunchbox.
Yeah, it's like an old-fashioned makeup case. And Della Q's products are so incredibly beautiful and well-made. They also had, I was kind of digging this big hat box kind of thing, but this one was birthday money range. So it has a strap, which is nice, and it's got these beautiful, they're faux leather, and then this opening. So then you open it up, and it's got a metal plate here, and it came with 3 magnets and some stitch markers, and this little darning needle. And so the magnets just go right here. And then it has this removable tray, and it just holds your notions, whatever. And then it's pretty roomy for yarn. So I bought this totally in love, and I'm like, I know I said I wasn't starting a new project. But I was like, I need a new project for my beautiful thing, and I just wanted something small, self-contained, whatever.
I like
So
that.
yeah, it's beautiful. It's like a
and
fabric.
Suede on the inside.
Yeah, suede on the inside, fabric on the outside.
Goodies.
Oh, and it has these little holes for you to pull your yarn out.
Ah.
But it's nice because it's not, so a lot of knitting bags come with grommets
Mhm.
because you like are supposed to thread your yarn through there.
Mhm.
But then until you
But then
finish
you're
the
attached.
project,
Yeah.
and what do? And so you would have to put it over the edge of the bag, and you still have that yarn, which my cat would bite through.
Yeah.
So I've never used grommets. But what's nice about these is I can pull the project out and put it through the hoop and close the lid. But then when I'm done, boop, I just pull it back out. So
Yeah.
it works
Yeah.
much better, and I really do like. It's got one on each side.
Yeah.
So I was like, what am I going to do? And in the process of cleaning Hannah's room, I was trying to deal with a lot of the yarn that I've made. I spin my own yarn, and I have bags and bags and bags of yarn like this. And I was like, I had heard about a particular pattern called the emotional support chicken, and I've always wanted to make one. And it was just one of those things, like, it's on your radar, everybody's making them, you see them all over the webs. And here is a picture of the emotional support chicken. So when I was cleaning Hannah's room, I was like, you know what I'm gonna do with all this spun yarn that I have? I'm gonna make an emotional support chicken, why not? So I thought that is a perfect project for my new case. So, so this is the beginning of the emotional support chicken. You make two tail pieces, which you can see they have points. We just make these with short rows. You make two, and then you can crochet, overstitch, blanket stitch, whatever. I chose to crochet so you have a little visible line there. And then you have a contrast color. So right now, this is all done with short rows, and I'm all tangled. So I chose to use, for the main body, this yarn by a Jacob sheep named Naomi. And it's this dark gray color. I have this from 1 year. I had bought a couple of bumps of the fiber and spun it up, and then I bought the entire fleece 1 year, all of her fur, all of her fleece, processed and spun, processed and ready to spin. So I have a lot of her wool. But I thought, you know what, I have this all spun up, I've never used it, I keep wanting large plans with all the Naomi wool that I have. I still have a sweater's quantity sitting ready to be spun in my box, but I'm like, I am going to use this yarn. So I decided to use this Naomi. She's a Jacob sheep. She lives now in Colorado, so I can't get any more of her wool. And I started this, and the gray is also Jacob wool. It's this that I spun up some time ago, and I thought this is a nice contrast for those contrast
Stripes. Rings.
Sorry, yeah, stripes on here. So I started that, and then I have this red from that little sweater I made for Hannah for the waddle, the things.
The waddle.
And I just need to find a yellow for the beak, and I have lots of eyes. So I was like, you know what? I am just going to start my emotional support chicken. And then I told Mark this morning, I said, this chicken's going to be named Jacob. And then I thought, that's silly because chickens aren't males. So I'm like, maybe this chicken needs to be named Naomi because it's what this wool is from. And he was like, he told me also, he's like, you need to make Sonia one, because Sonia is the lady I get my eggs from, but also how I came into all this wool and spinning was through her. And I was like, well, that's very nice, but no, this one's for me. So anyway,
You can make her a little chicken.
yeah, to celebrate my birthday and my beautiful birthday thing, and I also was like, we're going on a trip at the end of the month, and I was like, oh, I can't wait to travel with my little travel case. Hopefully by then the chicken will be done. Maybe I'll put some socks and stuff in there. But anyway, this is my emotional support chicken in my new box. I was just like, I want a new project, and I did it. So that's me. And then I also had seen ads for this all over. I talked about it last time, that this actual, like an old-fashioned newspaper called Knit Nation. And I finally got my copy, and it's a lot of fun. Mark thought it was the most ridiculous thing.
I thought about Crochet Nation.
Yeah. So I got it, and it has patterns. But you know what I thought?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be hard to work on a pattern from here. I'm going to have to scan it and put it in my. But because like it's it's big and unwieldy. But there's a lot of interesting stories and a whole thing about Latvian mittens, which is funny because Mark and I were just talking about Latvia prior, and we get this, and then there's a whole thing about, there's a pattern for Latvian mittens, and then there's a whole article about them. This is one of the samples of the mitten. It's kind of mitten with the point, and the thumb is here instead of on the side. Hello, Rogue.
I love when I lived in Little Rock, I used to get the Sunday only subscription to the paper, mostly because when we had symphony concerts, your reviews were typically in the Sunday paper, and so I wanted to read the reviews, and I just love the
feel of it.
The feel of it, and it has I noticed that it has a crotch puzzle in the back. I was so
there's all
addicted.
kinds of articles and patterns. And it's just kind of fun, and something to do that's not electronic, no blue light involved. Yeah, and so there's like a sweater pattern and there's little tiny puzzles, a word search and stuff, and a little. You know what? I was really attracted by this, and I was like, what little people do I know? There's a little. It's called a quilted cardigan, and I really thought it was cool the pattern that it makes and how you make it, and it's kit size, which that's always fun because those are finishable. And then it has articles on yarn and traveling with your knitting, so that's also fun. And it's got a crossword on the back. So that is me. And now it's time for question of the week. Nobody had any book recommendations last week, so I had to do it all on my own. And I found a book. I saw maybe I talked about this. I saw a post that said a recommendation of books that. Sorry, go on. The recommendations, yes, to get her dog. The recommendations of. Books that are better listened to on audiobooks and versus read. Yeah. And so one of them was called Listen for the Lie, and it sounded intriguing to me. It was like a murder mystery, and she said it was funny and well done. And actually I can't imagine reading it. It was really good as an audiobook because it was about a woman who her whole small town just assumed that she committed a murder, but she was never charged or anything like that. They were just like, we know she did it, but they couldn't prove it, of her best friend. But she herself couldn't remember the night, so she was like, maybe I did. And she's a very funny kind of dark kind of character in a way. But then there's a podcaster also in town doing a podcast on the murder because it's unsolved. And so some of the chapters are her first person, and some of the chapters are the podcast with interviews from people in the town. And it actually was really fascinating, done that way. I'm like, what a great idea for a book. So it was a lot of fun, and I just finished that yesterday.
So now you need a new book.
I need a new book recommendation. Actually, I think I told you I'm rereading The House on Mango Street in preparation for getting to hopefully meet Sandra Cisneros at the Writers' Conference in October. So that's what I'm physically reading. But yeah, so our question this week, we realized we have new subscribers, and thank you to those of you who have joined us recently. We're up to 580, which is fun for us. 20 more and we'll have a party. We have parties at our big numbers, so tell your friends about us, and if we get to 600, we usually have a party and a giveaway of some kind. Usually is what we've done in the past, so that'll be fun. But our question this week is, do you have any questions for us? So let us know if you are curious about anything that we do, don't do, anything, within reason.
We talked about our pets. We talked about
pets and
various
crafts
things.
and whatever else, Arizona. Let us know what questions you have for us. So that's our question of the week this week.
So I have something I forgot to talk about.
Oh, knock yourself out.
My birthday is next week.
Oh, brother.
And I got a birthday present already from Ben.
Oh, that's so cute. Where'd you find that?
Hobby Lobby.
That's going to fit your Christmas blanket just right.
Well,
That's nice.
I have that big bag that I made that I have it in right now.
Oh, yeah.
But some of my yarn that I need for my Christmas projects will fit in here.
Oh, that's good.
Notice I said so.
Oh, no. That's fun.
It doesn't have a zipper top or anything like that, but that's fine, because if I'm using it for yarn, like you say, you want to be able to keep your ball in there and have it,
And you don't have a wool hunter in your house, so
no,
that's good.
But Hank likes fluffy, soft things.
Oh,
He steals Peyton's slippers.
Cute.
Sometimes I walk in here and Peyton's slipper is in the middle of the floor.
That's funny.
Yeah,
So for stories, last week, I think I told you guys I was going to go home and try to make a sourdough loaf. And I did, and it worked, and it came out beautiful. And here's a picture of it, and I was
It looks
so
so
happy.
good. It looks so
It
good.
tasted so good. It all just worked, and it was a 3-day process. It was very stressful, and I'm going to do it again today. So I have my starter. I fed my starter last night, and it's sitting there waiting to. It's bubbling.
Based on your sourdough inspiration, we bought a loaf of sourdough bread the other day, and was it Sunday or that we had the chicken salad and the sourdough bread? I think it was.
Remember what day?
I think it was Sunday, because we stopped and got a few groceries or
I
whatever.
don't remember what day it was, but
It came out so. I
it was
so
last
happy.
week.
Yeah, last Sunday.
Because I made mine. I made it on Sunday,
Might have been
Yeah.
Saturday then.
maybe. But
I don't know.
anyway, you had sourdough. Good for you.
And then Beth ate the last 2 pieces.
Well, I was going to tell you, I bought from, what inspired this whole nonsense is I saw at Costco they had these 3 loaves of sourdough bread in these they were in these individually vacuum sealed bags.
Yeah, you told us about those.
Yeah. So I have one, and I can give it to you. You just throw it in the oven and bake it for I don't know how long.
Yes, I can do that.
I can give it to you because I'm gonna make my own
See,
now.
making bread yourself at home, the bread is so much tastier.
Sorry.
Italian bread is very easy to make.
There's lots of breads, but I was like so
But
excited.
the sourdough is supposed to be low in sugar and not make your sugar spike.
It's actually pretty good for me. I can, I can't go crazy, but it was just so good.
I love sourdough bread.
So that was fun. That was my adventure last week, and I'm going to try it again this week. And
When we bought that chicken salad and stuff, no, it might have been Sunday. Anyway, when we bought it, I was like, if I have chicken salad, I usually, when I buy chicken salad, I go and buy like a thin Italian loaf that's been sliced, right? So I have all these little coins of bread, and a little bit of chicken salad, that's how I like to eat it. But I was like, I've got to go find some bread, and I drove over there. I was in a cart that day. I drove over there, and I went, ooh,
sourdough.
It's a small loaf. Sourdough.
Yeah,
And it was really good.
So
That's why I like to shop the Oops shelf at the grocery store, because there's always, you can find fancy breads that are like marked way down. Like the day when we went shopping on Senior Day, and we were, looking around and I don't remember if we said we needed bread or whatever, but I was over in that area, and I thought, oh, I'm gonna go look at the Oops shelf, see if they have anything fun, and they had like some kind of loaf of bread for like 40 cents. It was really nice Italian something or other loaf, blah blah blah. But I was like, yes, 40 cents.
Those are fun. Yeah. What was I gonna say? I completely forgot what I was gonna say now. But the bread is really nice if I eat it the right way, which is after all my fiber and after my protein, I can have a nice piece of bread with butter. It's my favorite thing. And it just tasted so good. I couldn't get over it. So I made that sourdough, and then I made my chicken in the Dutch oven, and we had this huge meal. And I said to Mark, I said to him, "Are you going to be bored if I do this every Sunday?" And he's like, "No." Like, to have the chicken. He goes, "We had chicken every Friday night," and when he was growing up, and so I was like, all right, we got it.
So, are you old enough to remember when Grandma would make biscuits?
Yes, I love those biscuits. They were like one step from a tortilla recipe. Right?
She would use the tortilla recipe, but she would change it somehow, and nobody really knows exactly what she did. And she would make it into biscuits. They were dense biscuits. They weren't light and airy biscuits.
They were like hard on the outside, hard as rocks on the outside, but you open them up and they're fluffy
They weren't
soft.
hard as rocks, but
Well,
they were
hard.
crusty.
Crusty.
And very much like a crusty roll of bread, And you open it up, but you would eat them when they came out of the oven, and you would open it up, and the butter would just soak into the biscuit.
Did she really change it? Maybe she just
No, she did. She did something different.
I think she did a little bit because
Everybody was like, maybe it was extra baking powder. Maybe it was that. And I tried a couple of times, and Robert's like, stop trying that.
You're making hardtack, Mom.
what is it in True Grit? He's
Because he
dog
doesn't
roast.
remember,
Yeah.
If he remembered those, he'd be as hot on my making that as he is about homemade tortillas.
My God.
My son likes tortillas in general, but if he gets a store-bought tortilla, you better heat it up before you hand it to him.
I made tortillas like a handful of times at home because they're really fairly simple to make, but I think mine always came out very chewy because I think
It's too much oil.
Yeah, well, and I think also one of the things I read about is that like if you work the dough too much, it gets that way. That that you have to do it just right, like enough to mix the dough and not just not overdo it. And I think I tended to like overdo it or whatever, but it's very I don't know, for me, labor intensive.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
and
They're for everybody labor.
yeah.
That's why Mom
Robert-
stopped making
One
them.
day Robert texted me, your son, and he's like, I miss Grandma, will you make me tortillas? I was like, yes, come over and we'll make tortillas.
Yeah, he loves homemade tortillas. He grew up with Mom making them at least once a week.
Mhm.
And when we were kids, Mom would make them like that. And as we got older, she stopped. But when Robert was little, she was making them all the time. So that's how he remembered eating them. And there's nothing like a hot tortilla with some butter on it,
When my grandmother used
except
to,
my grandmother's biscuits.
yeah, my grandmother used to make basic when she was growing up. I guess when
That was
my
their
mom
bread.
was growing up, it was like every day, you know.
That was their
And-
bread.
Yeah, and so so she was really good at, you know, like making very round tortillas
Very
by
thin,
hand.
yeah.
You know, we always joke about making a geography assignment because, you know, if you don't roll it, you know, turn it and roll it and turn it and roll it as you go along, you can end up with it all, you know, misshapen and not round. And she was just fast, you know, and
There's this
and-
lady, I saw on YouTube in Mexico, and most of her some of her videos are subtitled and some are not, but she was just going to make whatever recipe she was making for her husband, and she would talk about it, and it looked like she was behind her house, because sometimes you get glimpses of the landscape, but it wasn't one of those like, here's our farm. It was just like her in this kitchen basically, but it was a fire, and it was a huge like cooking surface, like a griddle kind of.
Like a Blackstone.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it was like
Yeah,
a
right.
wooden stove with this, and so she would just cook everything on there, all different kinds of stuff, and then she had this what looked like a metate with
Tell people what that is.
it's like a grinding stone, but she had it with in front of that stove with tortilla dough. It was like just sitting there,
yeah.
and it looked like pillowy, snowy white. But I never found her videos where she talked about making the dough for that, and that's what I really wanted. But so she would like get like something and cut off a little bit, and then she would go like this,
Yeah.
and instead of rolling it,
Yeah.
I
she
remember
would make
Grandma-
like it would be big and thin, and then bloop, and it was this perfectly soft, beautiful tortilla. And I was like, that's the recipe I want you to teach me. And and I looked through all their videos, and they didn't have any on the tortilla dough, and I'm like,
I remember watching.
But I've tried that a couple times, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know, I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I don't understand the
After Grandma
the
would roll it
technique.
a little bit, she would lift it and do that.
Yeah,
And
and it would-
that would get it round.
One of the things I remember that Grandma doing is like she would make the dough in a big bowl or whatever, and then she would twist off little round like golf ball sized little balls of dough, and then she would take it and shape it into what she called a little hat. So it was like concave like this. So she would form the little thing, and then she would like pop it on the table, and it would make a little pop sound
Yeah.
because it was shaped like that. And then she would roll it out,
That's how Mom did it.
Yeah, yeah. But I just remember Grandma talking about that, making a little hat and then popping it down on the table.
I've tried.
And
How
then
do
my
I know?
mom had what her father had made for her, a little rolling pin made out of like a broom handle, and it was about this big. And I remember it was like, that it had the little grains of wood because it was just a piece of wood. It wasn't a fancy
it was
rolling
warm.
pin. But it was just big enough for your hand, so you could do that two-handed thing on the, turn the dough, roll it, turn the dough, roll
What are
it.
they called? They're called I can't remember. They're bolilo, something. That's what they're called. Those short little like hand-sized rollers.
Yeah.
And we left it. We think we left it in New Mexico. It never came here.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We never found it.
Well, yeah. Mom had another one.
Bolillo
because-
is what it's called.
Because she had that one that her father had
The
made
holy
for her.
sacred one.
And then something happened to it, and then she had another one. I think Dad cut one up for her, something like that. But yeah, but the older one, you know, it was like you could, it was old and you know.
It was great.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
So I found this guy at an art fair.
Mhm.
Who the name of his company, I follow him on Instagram, called Fallen Wood Turnings.
Mhm.
And he, from Fallen Wood, makes all kinds of cutting boards and spoons and spatulas and everything. And I bought something from him. And then I talked to him and I said, I think I emailed him and I said, I really want a turner for my eggs for my cast iron pan.
Mhm.
I don't want to use plastic because it's just too hot,
Right.
and I don't obviously want to use metal. So he made me one, and then I wrote him and I said, "Can you make bolillos?" And I made three. I guess I have one. I gave one to Hannah, and Robert has one, and because he was supposed to learn to make tortillas and he never has, but he has it.
Robert has one? Where
Yes.
does he put it?
But I gave
It's not
him
in his
one.
kitchen.
So it's a little, I told him what it was and he's like, yeah, I can make those. So it's about this big and it's this beautiful dark wood. And he with all of his wood products, he gives little tubs of
Oil.
moisturizer.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, there's supposed to be one in this house. I don't know if you packed it
Well,
up.
it might be packed away, but I don't remember seeing it ever.
But yeah, so
I was gonna say at Grandma's house in Central, she had a little metate in by the front door, but it was because I guess she didn't use it anymore. But when she was young, I guess she did. Or you put the corn in there and you grind it because. Like my mom said, she didn't really make flour tortillas until she came to the United States. When she was growing up in Mexico,
It was all corn.
it was corn tortillas, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
she
remember
made
watching her make
wonderful
them.
corn tortillas.
Yeah.
By hand. They were a little thicker than the kind you usually buy at the store that are made
Oh,
with a
but they were
tortilla
good.
press. But they were very good. They were soft and thick,
now I'm really hungry.
Now I want a fresh made
Well,
tortilla.
it's like I'm the only one who eats them. Well, Robert will eat them once in a while if he can warm them up. But I buy a packet of tortillas at the grocery store, and they're Albuquerque, brand
Company,
tortillas.
yeah.
Yeah, and because there's all kinds of brands of tortillas, and I'm like, nope, I want the Albuquerque one, the Albuquerque factory or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Tortilla Factory.
Yeah, and
They're pretty good.
yeah.
It's not
I
that
like
we
them.
don't- It's not that we don't eat them. I just don't want to make a sandwich with them.
They're machine made, but they're good. Yeah, you can heat them up and it tastes a
Yeah.
little better.
I like
Um,
them.
But
I don't mind using them to make like a quesadilla or
Yeah. I'm a Mexican food connoisseur. When I was living in Little Rock, I would
Yeah.
try this Mexican restaurant and that Mexican restaurant, and I was like, like judging, this, and
it's so funny.
and I never ate. There was a place that I never ate there regularly at first, called Senor Tequila's. It was just a kind of it looked like a
Yeah.
little bit of a chain or whatever, and
And you're like, that can't be good.
yeah, and
It was.
then one time, I guess it was a work lunch or something, and somebody suggested we eat there, and so we went, and I'm like, oh, this is really good, and so that was
It's not New Mexico good, but it was
it was really good.
yeah.
And,
I was
yeah.
going to tell you, I was on the phone at work with at the Symphony. I was on the phone with a guy, and he said somehow we got on the subject of New Mexico. He's like, yeah, I think I'm originally from Gallup. He says I used to own a grocery store. I think his emails it's gross or something. And so I don't know if I commented, I don't know how we got on the subject, but then I was like, oh, I'm from New Mexico, I'm from Albuquerque. And he's like, I can't find any good New Mexican food out here. And he's like, I have people who bring me enchiladas from Gallup and or sometimes I bring stuff over, like he was talking about, like a drug run, you know,
Yeah.
with the green chili and the enchiladas and the tamales and everything. And so we talked a lot. I think he must have gotten a group sale with the symphony. And so then I'm up at my new job, which there's a lot of crossover, right? So I'm up at my new job and I get a phone call and I'm like, I know that name. And I pick up and we were talking and I was like, I remember you. And he goes, oh yeah, we're talking about New Mexico and green chili and Gallup. And yeah.
Did you know that when Mona moved back to Cincinnati from Albuquerque, she used to have me send her chili things
Yeah.
that were, you know, something that would go through the mail without.
Yeah.
Yeah. She used to have. She goes, I can't get any of it here. I can't.
Yeah.
I can't
Yeah,
get
I
it.
need a
Frozen
fix.
green chili and
I
stuff
need a
like that.
fix.
Yeah.
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 She goes, over here now, they're like me. Well, we have chili. It's like, no, that's not chili. Trust me.
Cincinnati chili. Oh, so I have a friend who's Argentinian, so he's very much a connoisseur of all kinds, and he travels all over the world. And he just got a job in Cincinnati, and I just said, have you had Cincinnati chili yet? He's like, I will not let that abomination cross my lips.
It's actually good, but it's not chili.
I'm like, it has I thought it was gross. I thought it might be gross, and then I tasted it, and it was kind of okay, but I have no desire to be like, I need to go back to Cincinnati and try that again.
Well, I had my
Oh no, I'm like.
I had a friend that I went to graduate school with. She was from Fort Wayne, Indiana, and we went to school in Bloomington. And she had, you know, we were talking about food, and she's like she was talking about Pringles. And she said, Pringles are okay if you don't think of them as potato chips, because they don't taste like potato chips. They taste like Pringles. And that's kind of like how, you know, you can think of things like you know,
Taco Bell's
various
good
kinds of
if you don't
chili.
consider
Yeah.
it food, Mexican or food.
Right. Talk about some okay things.
No, I you know, I kind of like, you know,
It hits a spot. It hits a
Yeah.
particular spot. It's
I was
not the
gonna say,
Mexican food spot.
It's not that, yeah,
But
it's
it's a
not
spot.
like you know, it's like my brother says, you get what you pay for. You don't go to McDonald's and expect to get steak. You know, you're getting McDonald's, right? And so it's the same thing, you know, that if I want really good Mexican food, I go to a really good Mexican restaurant. I'm not going to go to Taco Bell.
Did you
But
notice
Taco
that
Bell
Wallows
is, you know,
is closed?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah. So
Sorry,
there's
Mexican
a
restaurant.
couple here that I have, you know, kind of hit the spot that I think, okay, I like that, I like this. But yeah, I'm very particular. Like if I go to a Mexican restaurant and it says they have green sauce,
Nope.
you know, and then I'm like, no, because
If you
from
have
the-
to specifically say, please don't put green sauce on.
yeah, because there's a green sauce that's made with tomatillos, which are like green tomatoes, basically, something like that.
Or it is
They're-
some kind
it's
of
a kind
chili,
of
but it's
vegetable.
super mild
Yeah.
and not.
But there's green chili like we grew up with in New Mexico, which is generally like from Hatch.
Just green chili.
Yeah,
Spice.
yeah, and it's just a chili pepper, like an Anaheim pepper that people talk about. But it's a particular kind of chili pepper that's from Hatch, that's grown in Hatch, New Mexico.
It is an
And but it's just it's very different than, you know, what
They
I
also
really
grow-
call
yeah.
Tex-Mex or whatever, which is very popular.
Yeah,
Like if you go to Taco Bell, that's basically Tex-Mex, kind of, you know.
Taco
it's
Bell
not
is its own
fancy,
thing.
but it's
I mean,
yeah,
a
but I
taco
mean,
is a
but I
taco
mean
is a taco is a taco.
the generally what people think of as Mexican food, a lot of times it's Tex-Mex, and
Yeah.
but
Which is
yeah.
fine.
So New
It's
Mexican food
fine.
is
It's
kind of
fine.
very,
You're
you know,
just spoiled.
every region basically, like in California and here in Arizona and in Texas
It's
and
very
in New Mexico,
yeah, it's like
they're very
Sonoran.
regional, yeah, like
Sonoran Mexican food is just different from
Yeah.
what we grew up with.
yeah,
So
And so-
It's not
yeah.
bad, it's just different.
yeah.
it's different.
So
We're
it's
just
like-
spoiled and we miss it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I've got to go. I've got to go start my sourdough adventure. I have to clean Hannah's room because she's coming home in 3 weeks. So I've got to really go through that room and get some stuff done. And I've got to work on my sourdough. Did I say that already?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I am going to take off. So thank you so much for joining us and for our food adventure and our stitching and crafting adventures with us.
And don't forget to ask if you know.
We want to know what questions you have, and what are your thoughts? So thanks so much for joining us again. Tell your friends so we can reach 600. That will be fun.
Yes.
And we will see you again next week when Eve will be much older. A lot older. She will be way older.
I also will have had my first eye surgery.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
So she'll be old.
Are you gonna
less
look like?
blind.
Are you gonna look like a cyclops?
No, I thought I would look like that woman in Star Wars, the one with the big round eyes.
So we'll see you. We'll see you next week. Thanks so much for joining us. Bye.
Bye.